G'day EBS community, Bruiser, good morning. Hey, today's little teach is on team and the selection process that you got to go through to get the right team. Now, many years ago, I created the 7-footer flow chart. We still use it in all the businesses we run to this day, and if you haven't got that pinned up on your wall and you're in the team recruiting, selection, retaining business, you got to have it up there, because even for me, I sometimes forget steps, etc. You know, sometimes I think, you know, I've got this, so I skip a step. Anytime I do that, I might add, I end up with the dumb tax. And as it relates to the 7-footer flow chart, I want to just bring up one very important part to that process, being the group interview. Now, the group interview we've been doing since Adam was a boy, and I can't tell you the power in that. And even last night, we're running a recruitment, actually a couple of recruitment drives at the moment for different positions at EBS, one of our senior positions. Now, we don't tell people it's a group interview, you know, we just let them roll up and work it out. You know, we've had a couple of bits of feedback on that they didn't like that, and, you know, that's all part of the process too, so I'm okay to receive a bit of feedback. But even last night, you know, I wasn't at the interview. Pete rang me downstream of it and he said, Bruiser, the good old group interview keeps on giving. He said 2 of the 16 or 17 people that we had rolled up, literally saw it was a group, turned around, went home. You know, and it's just that. And because it's a senior position, I actually even enjoy it even more, because it's like, well, you know, clearly your ego got in the way of that one. So, you know, the qualification process works a treat. So a couple of points on group interview that people sometimes get wrong, have questions about, don't fully understand. So let me go through, after doing coaching for, you know, nearly 20 years and group interview that whole time, I might add, here's a couple of the challenges that people get wrong with the group interview. Number 1, right? You only need 2 people or more for it to be classified as a group interview. Some people go, well, hang on, I only got 2. You know, can I do it? And I'm like, yeah, you can. You know, groups more than 2 or more, right? So that's the definition of a group. Next one, more senior hires rather than junior hires, right? So a lot of times people get nervous when they're going to go and do a hire like a GM, a financial controller, someone who's more senior in the organization, and they think, oh, well, I can't do it, you know, or it'll be above them, or anything like that. Now, I've done CEOs, I've done GMs. I love throwing them into that process. Now, I want you to take a note of this, please, as it relates to the group interview. You cannot replicate group dynamics in a one-on-one interview, right? It's impossible. So when there's other folk in the room that they're competing against, that's where that group dynamic behavior comes out, right? Where you kind of see more of how the person's going to interact in teams, etc. And most of the time they're going to be coming into a team environment working with you, right? So I love doing that, right? And that's all part of the process. And for me, the benefit on the group interview is that people deselect themselves. You don't necessarily have to do it, because based on their behavior, they kind of deselect themselves. The other thing, on an upside of why I absolutely love the group interview, is it's more leveraged for your time, right? You don't have to do, let's say you got half a dozen people apply that you want to have a meeting with. You could have, you know, half a dozen half-an-hour meetings, normally blow out to 45 minutes. there's half a day gone of your life. Group interview, even with that 17 I think we had in the room last night, we got that thing done in an hour and a half, an hour and 3/4, right? So a lot more leveraged for your time to do it in that particular environment. So I know a lot of folk out there have adopted the group interview as the first round. Then, just to, fill the process in, we're normally doing disc profile, flipping profile thereafter. And then we're doing the short list of whoever we want to do in that short list in a one-on-one. So yes, there's plenty of time for one-on-one interview, but just for that first round, I think it's invaluable. And the history tells me too, when we've done recruiting, a lot of times people's CV sometimes doesn't really give a great opinion of the true value or not of a candidate. So I like with the group interview is, if I've got a borderline CV cover letter, which we insist I might add, we are more, because it's a little bit of throw them into the mix. If they've got a borderline CV, I actually, the benefit of the group interview is it allows you just to go, well, look, may not have had an interview on a one-on-one, but we're just going to throw them in the mix. So group interview is the topic of today. I know a lot of you guys have done this, so please share your learnings on the benefit of the group interview, etc., etc. We're going to keep doing it until I fall off the perch, I can assure you that. Have a great day, and talk soon.